This is an Elizabeth line service to Heathrow Terminal 4 via Heathrow Terminals 2 and 3. The next station is Hayes and Harlington.
Right, anyways, welcome back to another video. I'm on board an Elizabeth line train to the airport, and the reason why I'm going there is because I want to discuss something. Will the Heathrow PODS be demolished as part of the Heathrow Expansion? In order to understand the Heathrow PODS, we first have to go through the history of Heathrow Terminal 5, as that is the terminal that the Heathrow PODS serve. This terminal primarily serves British Airways, who were formed in 1974 through the merger of two separate airlines. One was BOAC, or the British Overseas Airways Corporation, who operated long-haul flights to other continents, and BEA, or British European Airways, who operated short-haul flights around the UK and parts of Europe. British Airways' main hub was at Heathrow Airport, who had its operations split between Terminal 1 for short-haul flights and Terminal 4 for its long-haul flights. However, in 1992, BAA announced proposals for construction of a Terminal 5 and submitted a formal planning application in 1993. A public inquiry lasted until 1999, which was the longest planning inquiry ever held in the UK, and was eventually approved in 2001. Construction began the next year, and the new terminal would be built to the west of the existing airport, in a big plot of land measuring around 300 acres. Construction flowed through smoothly through the 6 years it was being built until 2008, when the terminal officially opened to passengers, and British Airways immediately relocated most of their operations to the new terminal, while having a few short-haul flights remaining at Terminals 1 and 3. Of course, the terminal needed to have good transport connections, both landside and airside. First off, in the airside area, a new people mover system was opened with the terminal, connecting the main terminal building with the satellite concourses of Terminal 5. In the landside area, the Heathrow Express and the Piccadilly line were extended through new tunnels to a new underground station at Terminal 5, which bizarrely also includes a secret station, but that's another story. A new bus terminal was also built at the entrance of the terminal, handling London bus routes, local bus routes, National Express coach routes, the airline route to Oxford, and shuttle buses to airport hotels. A new road was also built from junctions 14 and 15 of the M25 to the terminal and the perimeter road. This includes short stay and long stay parking, as well as a business car park. This business car park, as well as the long stay car park, were built to the north of the terminal, but both were renamed a few years later to be the T5 Pod Parking and the T5 Park and Ride, and the terminal could be accessed by a shuttle bus service that would ferry passengers to the terminal. This became a problem, however, because the shuttle bus used the perimeter road and would often get clogged up in traffic jams, so a new guideway was built for new ultra-personal rapid transit pod vehicles, which were a new innovation at the time. This eventually opened in 2011, with 2 pod stations in the car park and 1 station in Terminal 5. This cuts the almost 15-minute bus journey to only 5 minutes. But will construction in this area change everything forever? Let's find out. This is the airport junction. Approaching the site of the 6-month Heathrow Junction station, which used to exist in the area. In this logistics area, which serves the airport, is a catering facility. See Gate Gourmet? That's a sign of catering. As well as Amazon. This is a globalization hub, by the way. It's Sosi Airport. And here was where the junction was, and where that siding is, that road, is where the old station was. It only existed for 6 months, just to allow for extra time to complete these tunnels, which we enter now.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 6... All belongings with you at all times.
So the reason why I've got off here is because the Elizabeth line train I was on doesn't go to Terminal 5, so I had to get off here, tap out my Oyster card, and then get these free train tickets, and I'll get to Terminal 5 by the Heathrow Express.
Ladies and gentlemen, train on this platform is the transfer service to Terminal 5 only. Any customer requiring Terminal 4, please remain on the platform. This train is for Terminal 5 only.
Train, and mind the gap between the train and the platform edge. This is the
Love these screens.
The next station is Heathrow Terminal 5. This is our final stop. To ensure your safety, please pay attention when exiting the train and mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
Incredibly sophisticated, this train. Okay, we're now in the transport center for Terminal 5, the underground as well as the train tickets area. And above this level 5 is the departures area. But we're gonna head this way, out of the terminal, and into those lifts. I wanna check if the pods are there. Lifts to pod. Okay, we just missed one. Okay, this is the Heathrow PODS area. We'll have to wait here for a little bit. There's like not enough pods yet. Wow, these are so good. I mean, these are like electric vehicles. So good.
Where do you want to go?
Okay, station B.
We are going to Pod Parking Station B. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Please board your car.
Alright! We are in! And just press the start button a few times. It does take a while. That's the other one leaving. Ross. There's pod number 216. That's heading into, I think, the siding. Siding or something. That's not used by regular passengers. That's the airport terminal, the airside area, which stores British Airways A320s. And then we travel a little bit faster. Alpha, Tango Tango, Oscar Bravo. This is just an emergency services thing. And actually this side of Terminal 5 is a plot of land that could be used for the Heathrow Expansion. The pod cars themselves are very wobbly. They bump around on the guide rails so much. I mean, they don't run on rails, they run on wheels. There's one. And we just run along the side of the perimeter road. Oh my god. Hey, and if I ride on these pods, it makes me happy. Oh, there's a plane taking off from the sky. Where is it? There it is. You can barely see it, it's just above that label. There's the airport. There's the main Terminal 5, and then there's Terminals B and C, which house all the long flights, the big planes that go to international destinations. This is the right way and perimeter road, the northern perimeter road. Oh, there's another plane taking off. This is runway 27 right, by the way. pods be demolished? We have no idea of knowing. Okay. Wow, you've got so many British Airways planes. This is the home of British Airways after all. And to the left here is the pod parking. It was originally known as the business parking, but the name got changed after I think the business parking was moved, I think, or was just renamed. Just renamed altogether deliberately. And I believe the long stay parking is now the business parking, which still does require a bus service. That is Station A, which is actually more used than the station we are going to, Station B. You hear the engines of a taking off plane. We go down here, and when I go to Terminal 5, I actually use this parking to get to the terminal, so it's actually very nostalgic for me. And I always use Station B and not Station A. And this is also the stop for the Thistle Hotel. I'm not sure if it's pronounced that way. I probably butchered that. I apologize. Oh god. Okay. And we're turning. And here's Station B. Okay. And we're coming into the bay. Okay, we're out of the pod, and we're now in this area of the parking lot. The Thistle Hotel over there. That pod is just cruising along its journey to Terminal 5, or I think the depot, or even Station A. But the pods are all controlled by computer, which is a relatively modern technology. So let me go into VO and explain what causes and consequences will be there if Heathrow expands and that the pods will be demolished. Currently, the pod parking is located in the small village of Longford. This village is going to be obliterated along with the pod parking as part of this Heathrow expansion. This is all part of a plan to construct a third runway at the airport, increasing the capacity for more flights to operate at the airport and more passengers and cargo to pass through. However, negatives of this change include noise and air pollution, as more flights would fly over the city to the airport could increase CO2 emissions, increasing global warming risks and high levels of noise over Berkshire. However, recently, politicians have backed the support of the expansion, which could mean the expansion is very likely to happen at some point in the coming years. The current master plan would be to have the new runway northwest of the existing two-runway airport. However, this gets a little complicated when you consider that there are actually two master plans. The first one would be to have the new runway with southern and northern parkways, expanding terminals 2, 3, and 5, and building two new satellite terminals in the expansion area and demolishing the current Heathrow pod parking. This is what the video on the preferred master plan is based on. However, in most recent proposals, the new runway would be in the same location, except there would be no new northern satellite terminal, and instead would come a Terminal 6, which would be built to the west of Terminal 5. Terminals 2 and 3 would not be upgraded, the southern parkway would be reduced in size, and the northern parkway would not be built at all. This plan would also retain the current Heathrow pod parking, with the new runway and taxiways built around the parking lot. Personally, I prefer the first master plan, as this can provide more gate space and extra capacity at the airport, and also this is the plan that was published the most. But this can have a nail in the coffin for the Heathrow pod parking, as it will be demolished in this master plan. And this is also the fact when you consider that so many roads will be diverted to make way for the new expansion. So how would people even get to this important parking from the M25? It could be impossible if it's retained, unless if the roads were to be sunk underground, which would be expensive to do so. If the Heathrow pods were to be demolished anyway, they wouldn't go forever. The pod vehicles and guideway can easily be moved to the new Southern Parkway, a new multi-story car park easily accessible from the M25. If the pods were to operate in service from the Southern Parkway to the terminal, it could take only 3 to 5 minutes, a shorter amount of time. And so that could be a solution. But before I finish this voiceover, I just wanted to explain the future potential for the Heathrow pods, because it can be endless. So there were proposals to expand the Heathrow pods via a separate line to Terminals 2 and 3 at the airport, but I plan to revive this as the Northern Parkway is in this master plan, so it can be built. I would also include 2 new stops at a new business and hotels park, which can be built in the Simpson, Harlington and Harmondsworth areas. I would also include a separate pod line to Terminal 4, which can be built from the current business car park, or if this car park is too small and too little used for the pods to be necessary, a new car park can be built in another location. I would also make a branch heading from Terminal 4 all the way to Feltham Station on the SWR network, which would replace the current bus services that head to the terminal. Overall, so much potential is there for this relatively young system, but there can be negatives. The biggest negative is that it would be really expensive to get the resources that are needed to build all of the guideways necessary and new pod vehicles, which can take years. And also, the surrounding residents of Feltham might not want a guideway to be built in their area, as it can overshadow their homes and businesses. But I just think that after a while, it is worth it to build new connections when they become necessary in the future. Anyways, let's head back up to Terminal 5. Alright, we're gonna take the pods back to the terminal.
Hello. Where do you are going to Terminal 5. Please let the door of the pod before you get in. Are you ready? Press the button to close the doors. You're going to Terminal 5. Ready to go? Our journey from pod parking station B to Terminal 5 takes 5 minutes.
So I'll leave our pods back into Terminal 5. moment the pod guideway is in the way of the Heathrow expansion, so it could be demolished and possibly moved to the south instead.
Don't forget, you boarded at Pod Parking Station B. We are nearly at your station. Now take a look at how to get to departures. When you leave the pod, take the lift up to the 5th floor, then follow the departure signs over the footbridge and into Terminal 5. Almost there. When we stop, the doors will open automatically. Thanks for travelling on Heathrow Pod. Don't forget your bags. While you're leaving the pod.
And here's my Heathrow Express train back home.
Hello.
For Terminals 2 and 3. Change for Terminal 4.
Oh, nice screen
Our
here.
final stop will be London Paddington.
Love these screens here. Like, I think Heathrow Express is like an open access operator. It's the route map. Very sophisticated route map. We can sort of start it like this. And there should be stations between the airport and Paddington that it should stop at. Like the Future Older Common and also Ealing Broadway. Ealing Broadway is a major suburban station. So it has to stop there to change with the Central Line, District Line. No smoking. Or electronic cigarettes. That's the... And our luggage racks on board. Sunflower lanyards. Okay. May require support with some special assistance. That's... What should the tickets? We do not accept Disneyland or Underground tickets. It's like Oyster cards or something. They don't accept it. You can't. You cannot use Oyster cards on board. You can use contactless. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Remember to ding the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Thank you for watching.